so much what I could call sacred hope goes into therapy for the client and for the therapist. It's like, what can happen here? We don't know, but we know amazing things can happen. And then if it's sort of almost like a bird being attached to the cage or something, it can't fly. If that happens, the concreteness sort of flattens it out, or there isn't a way of having an expectation that something amazing can happen. There's such a feeling of, there's a phrase in psychoanalytic literature that probably some of you know: the hope for a new beginning and the dread to repeat. I love that phrase, the hope for a new beginning and the dread to repeat. The hope that people come to therapy with, it's like something has not happened and it needs a new beginning. Something that's always longed for some kind of fulfillment, some kind of blossoming, some kind of togetherness, some kind of knowing, some kind of experience of one's self. That needs in some way a new beginning. And the therapist is representing that new beginning. And at the same time, there's the dread to repeat. It's going to be like that. It's going to be like when I wanted this smile from my mother when I gave her the picture and she just put it aside. It's going to be like that, the dread to repeat. And I think that feeling of the sacredness is the feeling that it can be a new beginning. One of the things that Jean has given us that's such a gift from this implicit level, we're talking about people who are seekers and people who want seeking to be sacred through them, right? We're talking about that. And we can talk about that and feel how wonderful that is. But I'm wondering, what about when the client is not asking you about God, right? But the client is asking you, how can I get rid of my girlfriend, because this new girl that I just met, she has the most beautiful breasts and she is really jazzy, and also she's very successful, and my old girlfriend is really boring. What would be the best way for me to get rid of I'm just making up something, probably not making it up very well. But the what is the nature of God is a very different kind of question than, how can I quit my job and get my mother to take care of me? I don't know. Can you, and this is what I would call a practice of the more. can you ask the question, what does it mean to you, with the same sacredness? That's where the rubber meets the road or something, right? If I can say to my young male client, what does it mean to you to leave your girlfriend? And what is this feeling of excitement about the new person you met? Do you see what I'm asking? It's not the content, and we get trapped in the content when the person is asking us a content question, like the question of how can I do this, or what about this, or what should I do here? You can feel trapped into answering the content question with a content answer. And if you don't approve of the question, or it's not your kind of question, or you don't like it, or you get triggered by it, or something like that, it's even harder. But that moment, and that's a practice for me of the more, of taking that tiny micro breath of pause and answering the question with that deeply meaningful, seeing the more in the client, seeing the more in the client when the client isn't seeing the more in themselves, or they're not even interested in the more in themselves, or know that it even exists. I think that's the gift of focusing oriented therapy, the gift of that practice of resettling, and then being able to ask that question in that way. What do you think of that? That all of that is in the question. It's something about seeing the sacred in the baby bird, seeing the sacred in the client, and seeing the sacred when it isn't being felt. There's a kind of being interested in how, I know that this sacred, this more, is going to be here because it's here in everybody. But how is it going to come out? And being really interested. This is where Gene is leading with his curiosity. It's a curiosity, but it's a curiosity not just about the facts,